my work with colleagues like Catherine Runswick-Cole and Rebecca Lawtham, we have worked alongside organisations of disabled people, families with disabled children, and various professionals. And that research has focused around a number of things, and I want you to talk about two of them. The first is the idea that disability, as an example of human diversity, is often associated with marginalisation and exclusion, and that many disabled children, for example, find themselves excluded, put on the periphery of what we might consider to be mainstream communities, and that would include schools. So in this sense, in thinking about disability as a mark of human diversity, it's important to recognise that disability is a political issue. It's something that disabled people's organisations themselves have contested and continue to contest. And for us, our starting point is this notion that diversity and disability are political issues, and we're always learning from disabled people and their representative organisations around how to tackle what is essentially marginalisation. So that's the first thing to say about disability as a form of diversity. I suppose the danger with that understanding is that it can be quite depressing, as the world can be, that the social and the political world can be, because disability can lead to disablism, which Carol Thomas, a colleague in the UK, defines as the exclusion of people with impairments from mainstream life. So it's a reality, it's depressing. But on the other side, we've learned from listening and working alongside disabled people and their allies, something which is perhaps less depressing. The second thing I want to talk about, which is the idea that disability as a form of human diversity, is an opportunity. And it's an opportunity for rethinking how we understand what might be considered to be the human being. So disability brings something to the table, brings many things to the table. And one of these things is the notion that to be disabled is, of course, to be parts of humankind, but also might be an opportunity for us all thinking through how we understand what it means to be human. So I'll give you just one example of that. One might define, for example, a child as having profound intellectual disabilities. They might not be able to speak, they might not be able to move much. Now, in a dominant way of viewing this through the medical model, then that child will be considered to be deficient and lacking. If, however, we kind of, and this might be considered to be a leap of faith, say, well, hold on, what opportunities are given by that child to those around that child, then we might actually see their profound disabilities as actually asking profound questions of what it means to be a human being. So we can argue that that disabled child actually permits others to be part of their world, and in many ways the presence of profound disability broadens what it might mean to be a human being. So rather than thinking about independence and autonomy, we start to think about notions of interdependence. And we start to think about notions of what Catherine and Rebecca and I have been talking about, which is the notion of disindependence. So diversity and the celebration of diversity might actually mean a celebration of what disability brings to the table in rethinking what it means to be a human being in the 21st century. Great schools consider disability as a moment of affirmation. So they do not view disabled children as a drain on resources, nor problematic pupils that lower the standards of schooling. What great schools do is they recognise that disabled children broaden curriculum, deepen a sense of belonging, and engage more openly with the wider community.